That works.
Yes, I don't know what the issue was here, but I think it was the recording. When I clicked record, then something might have happened. All right. Well,
Are you recording now?
yes, I'm
You're
recording.
recording.
So thank you so much, Mrs. Laksamana, for taking some time from your busy schedule. Now, so the reason why I want to meet with you is because I would like to present to you a story, well, a student, as a matter of fact, a student who I have worked with for this year. And who I feel that based on the information that I gathered from his teacher, he is still struggling in some areas. In these areas, mainly, I want to say the emotionally. So, based on the information that I gathered from his teacher, so Gio, he has been experiencing emotional outburst every time that he has to complete a task that is too challenging or too difficult for him. Now, the outbursts are more frequent during ELA and math. Now, one other thing that the teacher mentioned was that Geo, um, he started showing signs of stress and a bit of anxiety this year uh, when he entered sixth grade. So, so now he's in middle school. Last year he was currently in elementary school, and based on his elementary school teacher, he didn't show any signs of stress or any signs of emotional uh, outburst like he's displaying this year. So also, one of the things that was brought to my awareness was that Geo experiences high levels of stress and anxiety whenever he is asked or is required of him to use critical thinking and deductive reasoning. Now, also, uh, based on the teacher's notes, she also mentioned that he's hardworking. He's a very charismatic student. He's a straight A student, and he loves to be involved in extracurricular activities. Now, he also has strong social skills and gets along with his peers and teachers. Now, based on that, one of the things that I do during the social skills class, I provide guidance and coping skills to help students self-regulate. Some of these skills that I will be sharing with you are, for example, mindfulness techniques. And the most common and most frequent one that I use is deep breathing. So the reason why I use this technique is because it helps students feel calm in a matter of minutes. So I think this is the fastest in terms of the fastest technique in terms of like helping students self-regulate. I think this has been very effective. Now, one of the things that I also teach is, I encourage positive self-talk. Uh, Pretty much in all of the lessons, everything that I teach in the social skills class, it involves positive self-talk. So I always encourage students to use, to kind of like change their mindset if they're feeling a certain way. That is, they're feeling stressed, anxious, sad, or angry. I always encourage them to kind of like, pause for a minute, think it through, and then, start shifting those thoughts by changing, those thoughts to positive. So that's another technique that I use very often in the social skills club. Another one that I use also is, I encourage exercise techniques as well. We don't do them in the classroom, but I do give examples of what they can do. So, for example, if they're too overwhelmed with homework, I'm going to use that as an example. I will ask them, take a break, you know, go around your home, your neighborhood, and if it's safe, you just kind of like relax, calm down, take a deep breath, just admire the scenery and then come back, and then when you feel ready, then continue. So that's another thing, I encourage them to always consider, that if they're feeling too stressed out or overwhelmed, pause, to take a break. And yes, so these are the things that in my part I've been using and helping students self-regulate. And I apply, like I said, everything that I share and I teach in the social skills club involves, coping skills, such as the ones I mentioned. Now I was wondering if you have like any other ideas that I can use to help Geo, and any other ideas that I can kind of like guide the teacher to implement or use in her class to help Geo in terms of like easing his anxiety or his outburst.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that you are doing such an amazing job already with the Social
Oh,
Skills Club.
thank
I
you.
think a lot of families, well, the students and the parents have expressed how grateful they are that we are providing, some kind, even if it's just a club, okay? But really, congratulations with everything that you're doing. But anyway, let's go back to Gio. So I think I know Gio and his family. So Gio's siblings, who also came from this school, were very good students, like all straight A students as well. So I guess we could start with the premise that Gio either gets a lot of stress from himself because he wants to perform as well as his other siblings did, or the parents are instilling that stress in him because they're expecting him to perform, as well as the two other siblings. Because one is already in college, no, two are already in college,
Mhm.
and his siblings performed very well even in high school. So I think we could start there because I know Gio, he's such a sweet child, and he's a good student. And yeah, but I'm also wondering why this year, when he reached sixth grade, that he's exhibiting these outbursts or temper tantrums or something like that. But anyway, maybe you could go ahead and help the teacher also with the skills that you are already introducing in your social skills club. If the teacher could also use that in her classroom, just so that we reinforce whatever we teach inside and outside of the classroom for him in terms of his, emotional regulation and all that. The teacher could set up, let's say, consequences for unacceptable behavior, or she could start with setting like clear expectations. So let's say, okay, I know this will be a new topic and this will be a more difficult skill for you to learn, let's say in math, but just know, okay, let me break it down to like smaller tasks or smaller skills so that it will not overwhelm him. So, for, let's say for ELA, you want, of course, critical thinking is such a wide array of different skills. So maybe what particular skill with critical thinking do you want to address with him first? So that he's not like, oh my gosh, these are so many skills all in one. Then he starts getting frustrated or he gets stressed and then he throws his fits, something like that. Or when the teacher or even you talk to him, we have to show him like actual genuine interest in him. So what is he really trying to say to us? Okay, for us, somebody at his age who's throwing a tantrum is like a no-no right away because, he's already 12 years old and he's still throwing a tantrum like a toddler. For us, it's always like, hey, that's unacceptable. But really, we have to find out first, why are you throwing a tantrum? Okay, what's causing this much distress in you? Like, is it really the task that you cannot get? Or is it something else? Did something happen at home? Or, there are so many other aspects that we could look into to help him realize like, hey, yeah, what's causing me stress is really not the math lesson. It's because like I put so much demand on myself to do good that if I fail, then I will not, then it causes me so much distress. So something like that, so that at least we understand him just a little bit more. And then we can explain to him probably what is appropriate. Okay, when something is very difficult, as a 12-year-old, how should you respond? Is throwing a tantrum appropriate or inappropriate at your, like, developmentally, is it still appropriate at your age? We could set clear expectations. Okay, when things are difficult, these are what you need to do. Okay, step 1, step 2, or whatever. And then if another person is causing him to be stressed, then we could just remove him from that particular situation or from that person, and then we could go ahead and talk to him, like, privately. And I'm so glad that you're teaching him to do all the, like, coping skills in the social skills club, but it's really very important that we teach them how to take deep breaths. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. But make sure that whenever you teach him new skills, that he feels safe and he feels like we are truly concerned about him. So it's not just, okay, you'll get in trouble if you don't do this. No, but instead, then, hey, you're safe. Just talk to me. What's going on? Or I like your self-regulation techniques as well. It's very important that they learn how to self-talk. At least, they could teach themselves how to get out of the situation by talking to themselves, which is great. Even giving themselves, like, self-instruction or something like that. What else? Yeah, I think those are it. I hope those help.
Yes, thank you. I truly appreciate it. So I'm taking notes right now, and thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Now, what do you think of in terms of, like, adding more coping skills? Any suggestions in terms of, like, you know, uh that I can incorporate in the social skills club to make it that it fits Carol's needs and it's meeting his needs as well?
Maybe not adding more skills, but adding more practice with the
Thank you.
skills. Because these are enough techniques, and some adults don't even have these techniques, yet. So maybe just giving them in your actual social skills lessons, to give them more situations, to give them more role-playing activities where you give different situations, and then what could they do with it using all these coping skills that you have already introduced.
Now, any recommendations in terms as well to things that he can implement at home? Any do you think
It's the same. Talk with when you talk with a teacher, and to give her, different techniques that she could use inside the classroom. You could also go ahead and take those same techniques and give it to mom or dad for them to practice with him at home. With these kids, it's really, the bottom line is really, they will have to feel safe and loved. That's really it. And then all these skills will eventually, follow.
Yes. No, I agree. And you know what I've noticed about student.
He is,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's a type of student who in my experience working with him in the social skills club, I see that he's he completes his work, he doesn't fall behind. So I definitely see, that these techniques will eventually, kick in if I continue to kind of like just reinforce it, and like as you mentioned, kind of like just practice more, show more in terms of like more modeling, I guess, is show him, how to actually use them instead of just like, explaining it. I think you're right about that. I feel that if I show him how to use them, and
Mhm.
probably this, he will have a better idea of
Right.
instead of just, reading and knowing, but not
Mhm.
using them, you know,
Practice.
knowing how to utilize them, right?
Mhm.
So I think that's important too. But okay, well, thank you. No, definitely these are really good, this is good advice that I'm getting from you. I truly appreciate you taking some time from your busy schedule to give me some feedback, definitely. Thank you so much, Mrs. Laksaman. I truly
Of
appreciate
course,
your
you're
time.
welcome.
And thank you again. So I will keep you updated on
Please.
Theo's growth. And if anything, is it okay we meet again to talk about his
Sure,
his
sure.
as well?
Anytime. Just let me know.
Okay. Well, thank
The
you
good
so
work.
much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate all the feedback that I've received from the program as well as from you. So I truly appreciate your support as well.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Likewise. Bye-bye.